We launched the choir on World Refugee Day, 20th of June, in Parliament 2017, and it's just been the most incredible roller coaster ever since.
And I am Becky from London via Hampshire. We are so proud that these lyrics were written by an amazing human being called Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. She was an African American who lived 150 years ago. She was a suffragette, a poet, a teacher, and most of all, just an incredibly inspiring human being. We're so proud that we are singing her words here for you today. Rest in power. I don't think we could have imagined this when 6 years ago, Lord Roger Roberts reached out with the idea of starting a choir in response to the refugee crisis. A couple of weeks later, we met at the Houses of Parliament, and 3 weeks after that, we were having our first rehearsal. We had 33 people, a drum, a harp, and an Arabic rapper. By Refugee Day, on the 20th of June, we were back at Westminster in Parliament, this time for our first public performance. We haven't looked back since.
But recently, your fellow dragon, Deborah Meaden, has been bucking that trend and has promised to stop spending altogether, well, on new clothes.
Becky Dell, though, took it one step further. She went the whole of last year without buying a single unnecessary item.
So, Becky, what made you decide to do this?
Watching David Attenborough in Blue Planet, and there was this scene of all the plastic swirling around in the ocean, and it really got me thinking about how much we unconsciously consume.
Honestly, I remember I was stood in a shop and there were two pairs of Wellingtons and I couldn't decide which ones to buy, and I ended up thinking to myself, well, I'll buy both. And at that moment, I thought, I'm actually going to change.
I really hope that it will get people thinking about what it is that they buy.
How have you found it?
As the year went on and my socks got holes in them and my tights got holes in them, that was really tough.
So, go on then, at the end of 12 months, what was your first buy?
Genuinely, it was socks. 10 past midnight, I bought myself some socks.
How glamorous.
I know, living the high life.
So what's your advice for anybody else who would want to do this? Is it as challenging as it sounds?
A bit of both, but sometimes there's a bit of fun in a challenge. And particularly, we see all the fires going on in Australia at the moment, and it's really heartbreaking. And we sort of wonder what we can do. And the solution to the climate crisis is both macro and micro, and we can do this on a micro level. So do clothes swaps with your friends, upcycle your clothes, get creative, find out ways that you can make things, and be creative with what you've got. You don't have to consume new.
But can Catherine be convinced to change her shopping habits?
The thing is, I was you a few years ago. I used to buy fast fashion and not think about it.
I actually run a fashion Instagram account, so I put a lot of outfits together of that, and I think that's going to be quite challenging.
But you could style using stuff from charity shops, getting stuff from vintage shops like the wonderful place we're in. I bet you could have a fabulous Instagram fashion account without buying anything new.
It wasn't just that you didn't buy stuff, you actually obviously managed to save quite a lot of money, didn't you? How much?
£1,621.
And how did you work out how much you'd saved? Was it kind of, oh, I would have bought that, but I didn't, or how did you work it out?
So I gave the money to charity instead, and I went through my bank statements for the year and worked out how much I'd given to the charities.
Very interesting hearing how the experiment's going.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much.